Feds.
And any lineup changes?
No.
With Morgan, we talked to him after the game, and he said he felt more freer out there. You know, he kind of went into this a little bit differently mentally in terms of being out and coming back in. Did you see anything different from him when he came back into the game?
He played better. You know, there's more. Obviously, we need more. Had some really good plays, especially early in his defensive positioning, which is good. But I want the other part to come, the offense, and was involved in a couple offensive plays. Noticed him. I think coming back in, I thought he equipped himself fairly well, but he's going to have to continue to play better.
It looked like he was doing a lot of I don't want to say spin moves, but to get away, to control the puck, and to
has the ability.
It seemed like he was being more creative a little bit with the puck.
Held on to the puck in situations where a lot of people would throw it away. He has that ability. So has a chance. I think it bounces on him. I'm not sure if it bounces or hits a stick or what. So hopefully, hopefully some more plays come into play and he gains some confidence.
What's your process right now with all these defensemen? I don't know if Jamie's coming back, but your process right now with deciding who's in and who's out, and if you got all these healthy guys, I mean, what's the process you guys go through as a staff to decide?
Decide who are the six best. Yeah. It's not a complicated process at all.
How do you weigh, I guess, then, obviously you've talked about the rebuilding mode and all that. You've got guys, Amula, Andre, Jamie Drysdale, that you'd like to see take steps.
Yep.
How do you weigh maybe a guy that's playing well with another guy that you need to give an opportunity to help grow his game? You know what I mean?
Well, if we go with six, the only veteran guy out is Johnny, and Johnny knows his role. If we go with the six that we want, and one or two of the young guys who's going to be out, they wait their turn. I mean, it's not a complicated process by any means. We watch the games, we talk as a staff what we feel is the six best, and we go with it.
Emil's been sort of, he's almost like fearless out there. Is that something that you help teach him as a coach, or is that something that's just sort of ingrained in the player and just has to happen organically?
That's in him. What we teach with him, like I thought he held on to the puck. I thought he was looking for play 2, 3, 4 down his checklist, right, like a quarterback. I thought he could have moved the puck quicker a little bit the other night. There was some rust in his game. That's what we coach. As far as the ability to have the wherewithal to make plays, I think he's always had that. He makes a stretch play. I forget who it was to in the last game that some of our guys can't make. Yes, I think so. Yeah, far blue line. Yeah, So that's in him. I want him to take a chance. I want him to try to make plays. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. If we feel he's going off the rails a little bit, that's when we coach him. I'd much rather have a player that's so aggressive in trying to make plays and risky than a player that we have to try to get to that point. So he has that in him. That's not coached. That's in him.
And that's something you're still working with Jamie, I guess, before he came out.
Well, with Jamie doesn't see the ice like Emil right now in his game. Remember, Jamie hasn't played a lot of games in this league. I don't think he sees the ice like Emil right now. And we want Jamie up the ice. We want him to take a chance. I think he's made up a little bit different than Emil in that way.
Going back to Emil for a second. The conversation, obviously, prior to the injury, just with the injuries and everything with the defense was, is he going to stay up? Has he earned a spot here? Then he got injured. There's been obviously a lot of maneuvering around the defense, but are you guys at the point now with him where you want him up for the foreseeable future to develop here?
Yeah, but we just go day by day. Yeah, he's in the lineup tonight. But as far as predicting the future, no go. You're not getting anything out of me that way because it's still fluent. It's still such a small time of him playing. So that's going to be, especially now that as we start getting healthy with the number of D we have to have conversations daily on that.
John, it seems like Travis Konecny's almost been quietly productive this year. Like he's been great, but feels like we don't make a big deal about it. Are you maybe because of that's
you should.
And maybe it's because it's expected now from him. Like, do you feel like he has really turned into the guy for you?
He makes plays that I'm breaking down the tape. I mean, he's all over the scoring sheet. I mean, a team that struggles for offense, he is constantly all over them, all over it. And I think he's such a good player. You know, as I always say, my coaching with him is to make sure remind him he's got to do some of the other things too, and not be too reckless. Understanding situational play. I think that's the biggest thing, is understanding situational play, because he wants to make a play all the time. There's sometimes in the game you just may have to push it by a D, get a change, or go forecheck it. But he's been terrific.
I know when he signed his extension, there was probably some outside debate of like too much money, too many years. Like, it seems like you guys are pretty happy with what he's done so far.
Him and Sandy have been our top players.
Is it fair to say that when you talk about you want guys to take risks, it's offense, not defense? In terms of...
Well, it's hard to take. You don't use the word risk with defense, but when we're trying to come out of our end zone, and still part of defense because we're in our end zone, I want them to feel comfortable, try to make a play in the middle of the ice. Now, whether that's we have the puck. It's hard to use the word risk defensively. I just don't do it. For me, when I think defense is just simply killing plays and making the proper reads. I don't know if there's risk in it. It's more thinking. It's more understanding positioning.